Actually, this came up in my Oxford interviews and it was something that I got grilled about by the head of Oxford Medicine. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Yusuf, I'm an Oxford medical student, and in today's video, we'll be going through my medicine personal statement. This personal statement got me into Oxford Medical School, St George's and Sheffield, and we'll be going through it line by line. Also, a quick disclaimer before we start. Do not be tempted to try and copy our personal statements. The personal statement is by definition personal, and UCAS is very specific and very strict with its plagiarism criteria. So don't try to copy it, all right? See it as something that you can get inspiration from. Different universities are going to use a personal statement in different ways. Some use it as part of the shortlisting process, whereas others will only use it during interviews, and even for interviews, they can use it in different contexts. For example, for some, it's just used as an icebreaker, whereas for others, it can actually be used to distinguish between borderline candidates. So it is important to learn to reflect for your personal statement, because not only is that going to help directly with the shortlisting process, but that skill of reflecting will also help you come interviews. So we've explained now why we do it, but what are they looking for? What they're looking for is the qualities of a doctor. They're not looking for the finished product, but what they do want to see is that you understand the qualities required to be a doctor and that you're beginning to demonstrate them through your extracurriculars and that you understand the importance of it through your work experience. So I'm going to go with the Oxford Medicine selection criteria just to highlight some key points here. And we can start off with the personal characteristics, all right? So they're looking for empathy, capacity for sustained and intense work, ethical awareness, motivation, ability to work with others, honesty and integrity, communication skills, alignment with NHS values. I'm now going to also go on to the academic potential qualities, and they're looking for communication skills, problem solving, and intellectual curiosity. So if you have a look at all those qualities all together, what you'll see is actually 8 out of the 11 of those criteria that they're looking for are personal characteristics, not academic, even for somewhere like Oxford. So that's really important, and you want to be using those buzzwords wherever possible in your personal statement to tick through, and we're going to be highlighting that throughout the video. Fueled by an innate curiosity, I'm intrigued by the complexities of the human body and the diversity of medicine. Being able to work with a vast spectrum of patients and alongside other healthcare professionals promises an emotionally fulfilling career. The wide range of diseases and combinations thereof will allow me to be perpetually challenged, yet intellectually stimulated. All right, so right off the bat, you can see that I speak about intellectual curiosity, the emotional satisfaction. So what I'm trying to do is summarize my motivations in that introduction, and that's what you want to do. You want to be really clear as to why you do it. So for me, it's the emotional satisfaction, it's the intellectual curiosity, and it's the diversity. Diversity in terms of patients and diversity in terms of diseases as well. So summarizing your motivations right at the introduction, at the outset, is really important. Okay, we're now moving on to my first work experience paragraph, where I say, attending multidisciplinary meetings showing work experience helped me grasp the varied input that's required in all aspects of patient care. It exemplified the kind of teamwork and opportunities for continued professional development that I aspire to be a part of. Lifelong learning and education are cornerstones of medicine. Observing a thoracentesis revealed the importance of tailored communication in a doctor's role as practitioner, teacher, and supervisor, as I witnessed the consultant explain the procedure to myself, trainees, and the patient in appropriate detail. This is a skill I've honed by mentoring students of varying age and ability. It's been a pleasure to see them learn and progress over time, showing me the value of dedication to improvement that is so important in medicine. All right, so I cover quite a lot in this paragraph, and ultimately I talk about a multidisciplinary team. That's something that's really important. It's a very easy topic to come up in interviews. We're gonna have loads of videos coming up very soon for interview season as well. So I talk about teamwork, I talk about communication skill from a doctor's perspective, of explaining it to a consultant, a junior doctor, to medical students, and also to me at that time as a work experience student. All of those are really important skills as a doctor. I then again reach back to that idea of intellectual curiosity and empathy when speaking about communication skills. So I spoke about an example and then I linked it into my own examples that I aspire to be a part of. And I said that, for example, it's been a pleasure to see them progress over the years. So that's more of a subtle way that you can talk about the fact that, one, you were competent, your students were able to improve, and secondly, that you enjoyed it. So you want to be illustrating those values wherever possible. I found further evidence of medicine's compelling dynamism at a research and development site. Here I was introduced to chlorhexidine and its application to reduce encephalitis and thus infant mortality in Nepal. It illustrated the importance of research and the ensuing challenges faced in improving standards of living. Being actively involved in MUN for the last 4 years, I've discussed topics involving the growth of antibiotic-resistant bacteria at conferences. Wishing to draw attention to these issues, I'm spearheading an MUN conference as a platform for debate. So the key points I want to highlight here is 1, intellectual curiosity, and 2, problem solving. So I'm showing examples of my extra reading. So I'm using the STAR technique, and that's something that you'll see as a graphic up now. So the thing that I want to highlight here is that yes, I saw something during my pharmaceutical work experience, seeing this chlorhexidine as an antiseptic, but then I did further reading on it to better understand and to link medicine with public health. Okay, so in this paragraph I speak more about my work experience. Working as an optical assistant and volunteering at a dementia care home, I made sure to seize opportunities to develop a foundation for my clinical skills. By engaging in conversations with residents about their treasured memories, I learned just how therapeutic it can be for a patient to have someone to spare a moment to listen. It struck me just how important even the smallest gestures could be for those at the mercy of chronic disease. Being part of a patient's journey to recovery is an element of medicine I find appealing and have gained an appreciation for the intricacies of the human eye. So here, I'm talking about the alignment with the NHS values, I'm talking about communication skills, empathy, honesty and integrity, and I'm talking about a really key insight here. So I'm talking about this, again, utilising the STAR technique to illustrate how actually speaking to residents and the effect of that, so actually engaging with them about their treasured memories. So in some small way, through those conversations, I was able to help lift their mood. And that was obviously something that made me feel good, but it's something you can absolutely include in your personal statement. You don't need to be doing anything major, even those minor moments are stuff that you can really reflect on. Okay, now moving on to really my extra reading paragraph. So it goes like this. Completing my Silver Crest and Industrial Cadet Awards, I've learned how to develop my independent research skills, as well as structure projects and meet deadlines. Seeking advice and scouring websites as part of my EPQ on pain receptors, I sought to compare sources and comprehend the etymology of medical terms. Doctors continually face ethically and emotionally challenging situations, which I was able to explore firsthand, writing an article on whether death should be normalised for doctors. Considering contrasting viewpoints, broadened my understanding of end-of-life care and of the duties of a doctor. So here, once again, it's talking about the capacity for sustained and intense work, intellectual curiosity, ethical awareness with this thing about whether death should be normalised, and also communication skills in writing articles. And of course, doing those science awards, those were really good opportunities to develop my independent research skills, and that was very much more Oxbridge focused, so you can absolutely mention those. However, those are not the only ways. You don't necessarily have to do a science project. It's just about exploring your passions, whether it be through podcasts, reading books, and again, it's about the habits. It's not about just listing the fact, it's about how do you connect those dots together to tell a story. Something I definitely do want to mention is that I spoke about pain receptors here, and actually this came up in my Oxford interviews, and it was something that I got grilled about by the head of Oxford Medicine about pain receptors. So make sure that if you do mention something that you absolutely read up on it, because anything you mention is fair game for them to ask. Earning the position as head boy, I further improved my leadership skills through appropriate delegation and adapting to last minute changes. Practicing karate and engaging in drama, public speaking and debating has immensely improved my time management and self-discipline, as well as being valued outlets for enjoyment and creative thinking away from studies. Additionally, I'm in the process of completing my Gold DOV award, where teamwork and resilience under pressure will be crucial to resolve challenges encountered. So here I speak about ability to work with others, capacity for sustained and intense work, communication skills, as well as problem solving. I was actually, again, asked a question about this in terms of Gold DOV and how that helps me to develop my teamwork skills, my leadership skills, to specifically reflect on an example in which I was under pressure or in which I had to work as a team. An example I gave was basically of a time that we got lost, it was completely in fog, and we actually had to work together, assign each other different roles to actually find out where we were currently and also to then get to where we needed to get. So as we said, anything you do mention is fair game for them to ask in interviews. The other thing I wanted to mention about this is that you can just do extracurriculars because it's a valued outlet for stress. You just enjoy it. You don't need to say, oh, I did knitting because that's going to improve my manual dexterity and I want to become a neurosurgeon. No, you can do something because you just enjoy it, simple as. So now we're moving on to my conclusion. I believe my greatest achievement will be the impact I make on the lives of others by continuously striving to push the limits of my potential with my desire to improve and hunger to learn. Medicine will pose many challenges, of that I'm certain. but I believe no other degree or career could provide me with a lifelong sense of fulfillment. Everyone's conclusion and intro are a bit cheesy and they sort of cringe when they're reading out. Ultimately, what you want to do is summarize your motivations, your qualities, and illustrate why you want to be a doctor, and secondly, why medical school should choose you to be a future doctor. And that's what you want to highlight in your conclusion. So you're really just summarizing your key points as you as an ideal candidate, all right? So ultimately, my top tips would be to check out our medicine personal statement reflection examples, and also to check out our personal statement review service, where you can get your personal statement reviewed by an expert medical student who will be able to give you line by line feedback. You'll find a link to book a free consultation in the link below, and we also provide expert help with one-to-one tutoring for GCSE, A-level, UCAT, BMAT, interviews for every step of the application process. So be sure to use the description down below. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and leave a like. It's the best way of letting us know that you're enjoying these videos. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.